There's a lot of people that work on that theory. So we can't get too much anymore. It's fair board tonight or whatever.
Three Karens in the building. Sort of,
Just like
I say Kevin is in the building.
I told him I don't. Sweater all of them. Get you guys ready this summer.
Have you felt my office? It's like 3 floors of truck there. Back room. The meeting last week. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
It's Kevin looking
After 6, I was at US 6, nice.
I know, I got to work day before you know.
I wasn't gonna yell at you, but I know it's.
He just texted back, Wayne, but he's out of town. I sent text back. Okay. Ready. The August 11th, 2025 Board of Zoning Appeal hearing. Would we give us the roll call?
Yes, sir. Karen DeForest.
Here.
Dan Reinhold.
Here.
Kevin Stockwell.
Here.
Doug Smith.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr. Chair.
Okay, let's go to the rules and procedures.
Please turn your cell phones off or to vibrate. Please keep conversations to a minimum and when necessary, as quiet as possible. These meetings are recorded. Information concerning the agenda and applications are available on the table near the entrance. Restrooms are located to the north outside of the commissioner's room. Exit is located on the east side of the commissioner's room. If you have not done so already, please sign in. Please speak only when at the podium. State your name and address. Speak only to the chair. Be brief and speak to the topic in discussion. Be mindful there is a speaking time limit. Petitioners will be given a time limit of 10 minutes and remonstrators will have a time limit of 3 minutes. Staff presents a petition. Petitioner speaks for the petition. Members of the public may speak in favor or opposition of the application. Board members may question remonstrators. Petitioner may address questions with no new evidence presented. Motion is made in the affirmative. If a second is received, discussion will commence. Amendments may be made. Voting will take place and the results will be announced. You have a couple sets of minutes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we have minutes from April and May meetings.
May and June. I don't know what you got on here.
May and June.
Okay, May and June. What I got on that.
Okay, May and June.
Sorry.
Alrighty, was there any additions or corrections to those minutes, those 2 months? See none, I'll entertain a roll call vote.
It's my turn, right? Karen DeForest.
Yes.
Dan Reinhold.
Yes.
Kevin Stockwell.
Yes.
Doug Smith.
Yes.
Approved 4-0.
Okay, let's go on the first item on the
B-25-16, Kip Davis petition for 1 standard variance for a new dwelling variance for a lakefront setback of 16 and 6,300 feet rather than the 20 feet required, located at Lane 150B, Jimerson Lake, Section 5 of Pleasant Township, map number 760605230301000011. Here we have the aerial photo. Here we have the site plan with the structure on it. We have a picture of the lot. And another picture of the lot. And another picture of the lot. There, 3 pictures.
You must have taken those pictures that day, so Charles.
I guess Christina.
Oh. Now they're out. Get up there, Kim.
Okay. So, I live across the street from there. I bought the place in 71004.
Name and address.
Kip Davis, 40 Lake 150B, Jimerson Lake, Campbell, Indiana 46703. I purchased my home back on 7/1/04, and I then acquired this back lot on 5/17/20 in hopes that I could build a house for my parents that are getting of age to live in kind of the rest of their life. Living with the rest of my life. When we got the survey, there was a plotted setback line, and I think they also called it traverse line of 16.63 from the lakeside. The issue with the lot is with a 25-foot setback from the road and 20 foot from the lake, it doesn't give much room to build anything. I mean, it's almost not buildable. So with the information that we thought we had correct, which was the 16.63, I hired a local architect to draft a house that was handicap accessible, that would work for my particular application. I was getting ready to pull permits. I brought it up to Clint and I said, hey, can you look this over and see if everything looks right? Well, he had found somewhere in 1981 book, that was the Tree Harbor Association, that it was whatever the platted line was or whatever the current standard is. So, here it looks like I'm asking for 4 feet, but at the end of the day, I'm asking for 1.78 feet. And then a small little triangle that's like 6 feet. And then I'm asking for 1.93 that goes to another. Basically, I've got like 4 little triangles that just barely hang over the edge. Now, I am in the process of having a concrete seawall installed on this property, and I believe potentially that the seawall will actually get me the distance that I need and not have to have the variance. But the problem is I'm not going to have the seawall done until the spring, and I really want to get the ball rolling on this. So I'm going for a variance for these few minor areas, to see, because I've got to then send this has got to sit on piling. So I've got to send it to an engineer, and they say that's going to take a couple months to engineer. So I'm just kind of trying to get ahead of the game. I guess that's all I have.
Any questions? Yeah, remember, was it a meeting or two ago, we talked about that one fence on Crooked Lake, we're talking about we measure from the seawall or whatever. Yeah, I thought it's from the property pins when we do that, right, or setbacks.
It's the scum line of the seawall is what we always use. Because if it was setbacks, it wouldn't take, if it were at the property stakes and it wasn't technically lakefront, we would go off of those. But being that this is technically lakefront, we're going on the seawall.
Gotcha.
And he is correct. We looked at this thing
Okay.
maybe 1,000 times, and it's tight, it's close.
And we tried to redesign the blueprint to fit the new setback, but when I do that, it narrows up the hallway and narrows up the bathrooms where they wouldn't be handicap accessible at that point. So it would basically be starting from scratch, or if I could just get this variance, which, like I said, it is, there it looks like it's 4 feet, but we're only talking 1.78 feet by 4 feet, a little triangle. And then there's another little triangle that's 1.93 feet by 4 feet, and then 1.5 feet by, looks like 10 feet. So,
Just little blocks.
they're just right. And what happens is when it goes up, then it changes the roof line. So even though it's only 2 feet, well, by the time you shrink that roof line, it's in, and I'm already having to stair step the back of the whole lakeside of the house, because the lot narrows so much, it's making it very difficult to make something look nice and work for my application. So.
And the impervious coverage would be good on the proposed because it's so long down at the bottom then?
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We've met the spec on the coverage, and we've met the spec on the height. So it's just these couple, and like I said, we thought we were good to go.
Yeah.
Based off of the survey, but then when Clint went back into the books, or when they, created this development, they said whatever was plotted or current setback, which apparently the new current setback is this 20, not the 16.63, which was shown.
I'm good, Doug. Okay, Kevin?
So just to clarify, you're basically following the original platted part at 16.6.
I'm following what the blueprint or what the survey originally said. That was the original game plan. And then when I went to pull the permit, then I realized that there was a change. We tried to make a change on the blueprint, but when we did, it just messed everything up where we couldn't make it handicap accessible in all the areas it needed. So I'm like, okay, well, do you start from scratch again, or do I go and see if I can get this? On the other hand, I'm not even convinced that I will need this because of my seawall, because the seawall is going to have a 3-foot cap on it, and it's going to extend out, like I think it's 20 some odd inches at an angle out towards the water. And he says that they measure from where the water hits the seawall to the building. So it may all be for nothing, but I can't wait until spring till the seawall gets done, because I'd like to get going on the project. So
The house is single story then.
it's 2-story.
It's 2-story.
Yeah. I've got
You got a garage on.
I've got an image here. I thought I had to put it in there. I didn't. I think I have also the floor.
No, we don't have that. All we have is just the one.
You got a garage on part of it.
Yeah, it was a 3-car garage.
He's got plenty on the roadside.
Yeah.
And that road is not even a public road. It's just a private, nobody owns the road. So for the last 20 years, I've been plowing it and maintaining it and patching the asphalt on it and everything else, because nobody else kicked in back there. So.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's all.
Karen?
Have you thought about moving it a little bit closer to the road, and then you would have to have,
He's on the
I'm
side
not
of
much
that.
on that.
right, but you could ask for a variance from the
Yeah, you're right.
road front, and then he's away from the lake, and he could actually build it possibly to what you need, instead of having all these corners and all these.
Right, I mean, it would be another, I need a little bit of distance on one end or the other.
I mean, it'd be,
25 foot
It
up
would
the
be-
driveway doesn't give you a whole lot of depth, to park part of the stuff, so.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm not asking for 4 feet, I'm asking for, less than 2 feet here, less than 2 feet, 1.5, 1.9, 1.78. So it's not a huge area.
but that is at the 16.63 instead of the 20 feet,
Well, no,
is what you're asking.
well, yes, according to the paperwork, yes. But I'm asking for these 4 little triangles here that are mapped out. I see the red. I had the surveyor put the red on the print.
That's actually on the 20-foot line.
Mhm.
Yeah. So when you're talking about all the 1.5 and all that is off of the 20-foot line, not the 16.3.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it were the 16.3 that's on this, I wouldn't have any issues, It's the new setback is where I'm struggling.
Okay, so you got a 3-car garage.
Yep.
And you're gonna have that wide of a driveway. So I guess my question is if you have a 3-car garage, how many bedrooms do you have?
3 bedrooms.
3 bedrooms? So you're not going to have enough parking spot? What I just heard?
Well, I'm just saying that 25-foot setback, most
Right,
ours are
3 in the
20
garage,
something
but I'm
feet,
just
so.
saying, if he moves closer to the road front instead of the lake, he would still have enough parking for the bedrooms.
As long as he has a 3-car garage.
Yeah.
So,
Right, it would be if the guys
Yeah.
come over and the car, it's suburban or something, they're gonna be almost hanging out the road.
Yeah, but the lake lane is pretty narrow.
Yeah.
One car.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
Okay, I'm good with questions.
Okay. I don't have anything. All right. Is there anyone in the public that can speak in favor or opposition to this variance request? Seeing none? Public portion's closed. Other questions by the board, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move we grant petition number B-25-16 for a minimum lakefront setback of 16.363 feet to Kip Davis as presented.
Second that. Your variance has passed by a 3-to-1 vote count.
Thank you.
Give us a day or two, then come pull your permit. Oh, yeah, I'll do it.
Thank you.
Do it.
They don't talk.
Ready, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
All right, V-25-17, Granite Ridge Builders and Samuel and Jessica Hartman petition for one-dimensional standard variance for a new dwelling. Variance for a road front setback of 16 4/10 feet rather than the 25 feet required. Located in 255 Lane 301C, Lake George, Section 15 of Jamestown Township, map number 7603151110 123000006. Here's the duck's head picture we got here for the aerial. Here's a site plan showing the setbacks on the lot. Here's a picture with our Jeep in it for scale. I like that. Got more scale photos, and there's another one. That's all I have for you tonight.
Thanks for those photos. I did the same thing. Sam Hartman, 255 Lane 301C, Lake George, Fremont, Indiana. Me and my wife bought this property in 2020, COVID purchase. Both Lake children, went to Trine University myself, so it was always going to be the end goal of Fremont Lakes for me. Spent some great years in this little fisherman shack, no heat, no air, and regrettably had some pretty substantial foundation problems this last year that caused us to explore the option of rebuilding. So through the course of purchasing this home, the previous owners had also looked into seemingly pretty deeply rebuilding the property. And one of those things of which was in 2012 had a similar variance that they requested and were granted. So ignorance be known to us that those expire and that we got to refile those. So that's all that we're asking for is to reinstate the variance that was once granted in 2012. As you can see in Browns Point, the road juts out like a peninsula into the lake, so we're kind of bound pretty tightly on each side with lake properties across the road, so the lots are just pretty limiting, so.
Okay, Karen?
Clean out the parking garage, how many bedrooms, got a garage?
It's, so it'll be a two-car attached garage is what is kind of extending into that need for the variance. It's a 4-bedroom. Or will be, I should say.
Right. So you've got, yeah, I guess there's 16'4" then, park the other two cars. You have 4 bedrooms, you have 4 parking spots.
Gotcha.
So,
Which we kind of planned for the driveway space to fit at least 2 cars was our kind of plan and design for that. We know how important lake parking is in these little lots.
can't go any closer to the lake. 25'3", I see, so I mean, topography or that's a problem.
To go closer to the lake, I mean, it's my understanding that we're pretty much at the front of that build line across from the neighboring properties. We use basically the front foundation point of where the previous home was at in placing this one.
Yeah, it's way back, yeah. Clint, what's up with that?
Oh, we do have 2 large trees on the lot, on the lake side.
Well, that's why I was asking.
Yeah.
Limitations.
Yeah, we have 2 large trees and trying to keep those.
I'm good.
You can see that one there on the left. That's the left tree.
Whole tree.
There you go.
So the house is gone now.
It is.
I'm looking at that, that's where the house will be right in front of it.
Well, we kind of started the process thinking we had the variance in place with the design that we had done. So, and then with the foundation and the state that it was, we were moving forward with a build one way or the other.
Any questions? Okay, I'll open the public. Is there anyone public that can speak in favor or opposition to the variance?
Yes.
Come forward, please. You have your name and address, and then you have your next.
Richard Aldecruz at 295 Lane 301C, Lake George, 2 lots to the north. Okay. If you look at the plot plan, you'll see a little arrow that shows that there's about 5 feet that this plot could get moved forward. Okay. And now he's trying to protect those trees, which I love trees and all, but I can tell you I have pictures where at least one of them has 2 low crotches. And we have winds like crazy on Browns Point, so I worry about the life of those trees being around, whereas his house will be forever. So I would prefer that that house get moved at least back out to that 25-foot point so that he can park some real cars in that 16-foot space he's talking about there. I don't think there was ever a 12-foot variance granted since I lived there, and I've never, ever was ever notified about a previous variance. So I'm suspicious of that variance ever having been granted. Now, when you live out on Browns Point and you come out on a holiday weekend, it looks like a used car lot. So parking is an incredible lack of space out there, okay? And almost every house on Browns Point, one of those garages is filled with stuff and it's used like a spare thing. So whether he's going to be able to park 4 cars or just 3 cars, I think it's suspicious. Okay. Now we've had 8 houses built out on Browns Point within the last 15 years, as I know. And I don't think there's been a variance granted on any one of those. Anybody want to see a picture of that tree with a low crotch? Thank you.
Do you have the file for this particular project? Was there variance granted?
I have the previous paperwork right here if you'd like.
Well, no, what was granted back then? Yeah, I remember.
That's like yesterday, Doug.
Yeah.
Of course, in all fairness, what was done 15 years ago has no bearing on our decision.
Yeah.
Sure. Can I make additional, do I get additional comment at all?
Once we're sure we're done with the project, yes.
Have you come back with You else want to see that? All right, anyone else like to speak at this time?
Hi, good evening. My name's Annette Tamati, and I live at 200 301C in Fremont, Indiana. Our place is a few cottages down from the proposed location, and I do recall that my husband and I had to reduce the footprint of our place when we built a few years ago. That would have been in 2017. And in order to adhere to the same setback requirements that you're asking of this property. That meant that we had to have a smaller living space, and our first garage on our first floor and our single garage we had to change to a single car garage for us. So although we welcome the proposed improvements on this lot and consider it a valuable addition to the neighborhood, we are very concerned about the traffic flow around the cul-de-sac because there's an extremely large cul-de-sac right in front of this home, and it's used quite, very, with lots of golf carts and everything going through there. And with a 16-foot long driveway, which would practically push the back ends of parked vehicles into the roadway, causing potential safety hazards here. So that's what we just, my opinion is, and we appreciate the board considering our concerns in reviewing this proposed improvement. So that I thank you.
Anyone else like to speak at this time? Okay, public portion's closed. Any other questions by the board? Any conditions to consider? Okay. You come back up if you want to address the public's concerns. Thanks.
Well, thank you to my neighbors for showing how I owe much of this to Rick. When we bought the place in 2020, he's been telling me I should rip it down since the day we bought it. So appreciate the support, Rick. No one has more seriousness about safety than I do. I've got 3 kids under the age of 4 right now. So the safety of the cul-de-sac is certainly something that we took into account, parking our cars in that space in multiple different ways to ensure that the roadway is 100% clear. I certainly don't want my car being collateral damage to summer weekends or golf cart drivers in itself. So that's certainly something that we've taken into account with our cars. I think the car park there pretty clearly shows that it's a safe distance into and off the road. So that's just the remaining comments I have. Not sure what crotches of trees means though. So I'll have to ask Rick to show me the crotch of the tree later.
So on a summer weekend, how many cars would you anticipate showing up at your house?
So we have 2 vehicles in our family ourselves, but we usually just drive 1 vehicle up for like weekends ourselves. Weekends can be widely varying, and we've actually had neighbors that own property well off of this road, offering us to allow guests to park on their property for when we do have those large weekends. So we don't anticipate there being more than 2 cars parked in that driveway. One other additional comment too is just, when we were looking at neighbors' properties, and I can't speak to the variances or not lack of variances that neighbors had to receive, but it seemed that the setback from the road that this garage would be equal to, if not as far back as many of our neighboring properties that have been rebuilt over the decade.
Any other questions for the petitioner? Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move the grant petition number B-25-17. Minimum road front setback of 16 feet to Granite Ridge Builders and Samuel and Jessica Hubman as presented.
I'll second that.
Is this private? I was wondering.
Yeah, it's not.
It's private.
It's
county.
It's a county road.
So the golf carts don't go in there.
I don't have a box.
I'm just curious.
I'll start taking license plates for you, the golf carts. And
If they're licensed, we're some back behind us right here.
Yeah.
Your variance has passed by a 4-0 vote now.
Thank you. Anything else from you? Okay.
It sets a precedent.
The variance information or do you still need that?
This stuff back? Yeah, I got it. Normally I'd have to keep it, but since it's just a copy, you're good.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, next up, B-25-18A and B, Niemeyer Builders Inc., Jason and Kim Holtmeyer. Petition for 2-dimensional standard variance for new dwelling, variance for a road front setback of 19 6/10 feet rather than the 25 feet required. All right, and a maximum building coverage of 37 and 98 1/10% rather than 35% maximum. Located at 180 Lane 301B, Lake George, Section 15 of Jamestown Township, map number 760315140532000006. Here we have the aerial photo. Here we have the site plan. Picture right down the property line. From the side yard and the other side yard with a G for scale.
Good evening. My name is John Niemeyer, President of Niemeyer Builders Incorporated. We're here tonight asking for the variances of this described. With us this evening is Kim and Jason Boldemeyer, the owners of the property, and also James G. West Design and different consulting services that did a lot of the work on the layouts, et cetera.
Who get your name and address, please?
My name is John Niemeyer, Niemeyer Builders, 14414 Cooper's Hawk Cove, Holden, Indiana, 46745.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. What we're asking for, I don't know if we need to address these separately or together. I'm not sure the procedure, since it's actually almost a two-stepper.
Just go ahead and just talk about them as you wish.
Thank you. Okay. The setback that we're asking for is a reduction from 25 feet down to 19.6 on the plot plan. That works out to what we pretty much maximize what we could get done. There's currently an existing garage there that's only 17.6 off the road, so everybody's aware of that. The owners do have the property behind. If you'll notice, I'm going to call it to your left-hand side if you're facing the photo. So we do have extra additional parking in the frontage areas of that, and also in the rear on the back side of that building. Probably easily 7 to 8 vehicles could be parked in the event of a larger gap. In addition to we have parking on the driveway on the new home as well. The owners did go around. You probably have copies of a lot of this, hopefully in your packet, but they did contact all 10 neighbors adjoining and around them. And they all signed letters of non-rejection to both of these various requests. These folks have owned this property since 2019. They live there. They intend to remain here. They have a family that's growing. They also intend to live their dying days on Lake George. So the intent is for the 37.95%, we're over on the 35% coverage area. The reason for that, frankly, is they have to have a master bedroom on the first floor to hit what we need. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. The house is not grandiose. It's 1,220 square feet on the first floor, 14 something on the second, and we're going to try to get a bonus area in the top of the 400 square feet. I think it's a well laid out plan. We're not asking for any of the variances on the front lake side or any of that effect. If you'll notice in some of our specs, we are going ahead and installing a pervious paver out front. So our overall coverage at 46%. If we need to do a little more in the front end, we probably could. Because we realize we're asking for a favor on the lot coverage on the structures. So basically, we think that the house has a really good layout, and a good plan for future growth. We don't feel there's anything injurious to the neighbors. In fact, all the ones that we signed off, so which is a good thing. I think that overall, these folks, it's obviously a smaller place now. They're going to put a lot of tax dollars back into Steuben County, and it should work out very well from an ownership standpoint. Neighbors, something they can all be proud of. With that, I'll try to answer any questions y'all might have.
Okay. Karen, questions?
None real right now.
Kevin?
No, I mean, parking, so they own the lot across the street that shows on the bill.
Yes,
It's in there, so there's lots of parking.
I think 6 to 8 probably issues.
Yeah, and there's the garage on the proposed house, is the how many car?
That's just a one car.
This is one car.
That's all we could get on it. It's nothing big.
With one outside, then.
Yes. You probably get one in the yard too. So you probably get 10 on a big event. You probably could get
Both sides of the road.
Yeah.
That's
Dan? Good too. Okay. All right. I don't have any questions. I'm gonna, yeah, the board received letters of non-objection, like the petitioner mentioned, and I'm gonna read the names of those that submitted one for the record. And I'm gonna try this, pronounce these names the best of my ability, because some of them have a hard time reading. The signers are Dean Schumann, Christina Adams, Anthony, I can't even pronounce that. I can't even read that. So he lives at 120 Lake 301B. Yeah. Susie Gonzalez, Kathy Minnick, Derek Melkai, Kristen Stone, Lisa Guthrie, Terry and Carleen Paul, Eugene Klingenberger, Peggy Burnett. And I'm sure there might be some people over here who would like to speak, so I'm going to open the floor up to them this time. Would anyone like to come forward at this time? Seeing none, I guess. Sounds good by the neighborhood to me. All right, any other questions or for the petitioner?
Where's Tyler?
Let's just do them one at a time. Look, time's pretty good right now.
Mr. Chairman, I move we grant variance request on minimum road front setback of 19.6 feet to Niemeyer Builders and Kim Boltmeyer as presented.
Your variance request has passed, the first one has passed by a 4-0 vote count.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move we grant petition number B-25-18B for a maximum building coverage of 37.98% to Niemeyer Buildings and Kim Boltmeyer as presented.
I'll second that.
Oh, I get out the hammer. It's my medicine alarm, I'm sorry. Forgot $20. Okay. I forgot my medicine too, so that's even worse.
Because the alarm, man.
As much as the doctor appointment today, they gave me hell for that, I remember.
Now, the second variance is also passed by a 4-0 vote count.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Moving on, B-25-19 A and B, Michael and Kimberly Williams petition for two-dimensional standard variances for a new dwelling. Variance for rear road front setback of 24 and 2/10 feet rather than the 25 feet required. and for a side yard setback of 3 4/10 feet rather than the 5 feet required. Located at 140 Lane 175 Lake Gate, section 34 of Mill Grove Township, map number 760434412040000007. Here's the aerial photo. Here we have the site plan. Vacant lot, looks like a boat launch right there on the property next to it. Yeah. Oh, there we have the foundation on this lot, I'm sorry, it's not vacant. That's all I have for you.
Good evening, Joe Harradine, Sourland Surveying, 7203 Field Road, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46004. Here requesting the two variances for this home that is under construction. These variances in this request is a result of an error that was made not only by my field crew, but our office staff that I take full responsibility for because they do work under my responsible charge. This was an issue that we had some problems, technological problems the first time we were up there, and the house got staked, and unfortunately it got staked in the wrong spot, resulting in the request for these variances. 3 foot, 1.6 feet into the 5-foot setback on the west side and 0.8 foot into the rear yard setback on the north side along the ingress egress easement, which serves as the access point to 2 or 3 neighboring homes there on the north side of Lake Cage. I do have some documentation. If it's something that's not in your packet, I can pass out. The one item is the original construction plot plan, which would have met the side yard setbacks, the rear yard setback, the lake setback, everything was in accordance with the setbacks in the UDO. And then the second exhibit there, which is labeled page 204 on the bottom left-hand side, is actually what was constructed. This house was constructed using the helical piers due to soil conditions, and these piers are 26 feet into the ground. So removing this foundation and relocating it is going to be a substantial amount of money that happens done. So, and then we do also, the third thing in that packet is a letter from the neighbors to the east stating that they're okay with things. In fact, this results in, it is further away from the adjacent home to the east. And to the west, we do have the concrete boat ramp access for Lake Cage there. And we're still about 21 feet from the edge of that ramp right now as it stands. I'll take any questions anybody has.
Karen, questions?
You go to the one picture where it shows the neighbor's property. It doesn't show it.
I have a picture of that if you'd like to see it too.
Because when I was there today, their exit goes right where the vacated is. So how is it proposed that, they've already got a cement driveway that goes to the property line, and then you're going to shift it up 20 feet. You see what I'm saying? Because you vacated it and you put it up higher.
Yeah, the drive was vacated in 1997 and moved, the drive was moved to the north at that time.
Okay, but when I was on site, it didn't look like that. It looks like they're still using the vacated.
Speak up.
Just need your name and address.
Mike Williams, I'm the property owner, 140 Lane 175, Lake Gage. Angle 46703. I bought the property with my wife August 1st, 1997. At the time, where you see the road today, that's always been where people were driving. That was actually not where the lane was supposed to be. The lane was supposed to be 20 feet forward to the cottage. So we actually had that moved 20 feet to the north. We didn't really move it. It's the lane is driven where it's always been driven. It was supposed to be driven closer to the cottage, but there's a telephone pole and grass and no one's using it, so we just moved it there. So the neighbors to the east can very easily, there's going to be no impediment to them getting in and out. They're the ones that wrote the letter of support, that they have no objection. Nothing changes with the lane. The lane stays the same.
Now, was there a house prior on this lot?
There was, yes. We had a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, old fishing shack that we rehabbed back in 97. Somehow got 3 daughters to share 1 bathroom when we were down there, but they were all grown. They're starting families of their own. We decided it was time to rebuild. So we worked with Lancia to design a home that wouldn't require any variances, and we did that. Except this, mistake happened in the house. So the footprint was misplaced. As far as that 25-foot setback to the lane, we very easily park 2-3 cars at a time there. There's no problem there. We also own the lot in the back and can park 3 or 4 cars on the back lot as well. And then to the side where the boat launch is, that property, there are no parking, 2 no parking signs that are there. So no one really ever uses that except to put stuff in and out of their boat. I always maintain that grass over to the boat launch myself, just because it always seems good. I don't know who actually owns that property, but I just always take care of it.
When I was out there, that was a pretty good sized hill that you have to drive up.
Yeah, or drive down with a boat.
Or just drive down, either way. So, but that's the only level part, because as soon as you cross that driveway right there, it goes up.
Yeah, that's where people come down with their boats.
So how can you park in that back lot when it was a pretty good steep.
It's all dug out. It's dug out about 15 to 20 feet. I don't know if they have any pictures.
But that is where the 20-foot ingress egress is. Because if you're saying it's back farther than where everybody's driving now.
Can you go to the picture where the telephone, you can see the telephone pole?
Okay.
So right here to the very right, where those bushes are.
This is yellow guy wire.
Yeah, where the yellow guide wire is coming down from the telephone pole, that's where the lane historically was supposed to be. But like a lot of things, the lane wasn't there. People were actually driving back here. So we basically just flip-flopped the 20 feet there.
To where it is now, currently.
So that lane is 20 feet wide and it separates the front lot and the back lot that we own. And people come down where the boat launch is, they come down a hill,
Yep.
turn and then back around, or they can come from the other side of the other lane.
Okay. So how many bedrooms are you gonna have?
4 bedrooms.
But on the other side of that 20-foot easement, it goes right up a hill. So where are you going to park for vehicles?
So
What are you gonna have
there's
for
room for
garage?
2 or 3 cars there, where that lane you see right there, that's where the back lot starts. You could go there today and park 3 or 4 cars there. It's dug out enough. I don't know if you have a picture of it.
I have a picture of it. Right now, there's some dirt and there's a dumpster there in the way there, but it's dug out enough you can park. And you could also park vehicles up on the hillside, off the roadside, up there on actually north Lake Gate Drive. Jamie Lancey Homes, 9430 Climber Road, Portland, Indiana. The parking that Mr. Williams is referring to, the parking that, how they've been parking the vehicles there since they own the property. Yeah, that part has not changed.
I think the biggest part, well, we've never parked in the lane. I think the biggest part with parking, being in that location, is people will park in the lane and leave their cars down, boxes in. That's the biggest problem we've had over the years, but generally people are pretty respectful. But we have plenty of room to pull cars facing north and parking on the lakeside as well. It's never been a problem for us.
Are you gonna have a garage?
It's close here, it's close here.
Maybe someday on the back lot, but I currently don't.
Right. No, this problem. You're right. So it's correct, just there's 2 spots. One of the boat ramp is the one spot that's closed at 3.4, 3.6, and then what Karen's talking about, the rear.
Yeah, it's 24.2 instead of 25.
It's kind of one of those travel portions of the road, but I get your
Yeah.
point about the hill, because we may even own a property too, like that, where they didn't put the road where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
After this county? No, Michigan. God bless America. Yeah.
You guys keep talking, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I was interrupting you.
So no, you're fine. So the home is on the lot, you know, I mean, like, Mr. Harrington said, he had a technological issue with his GPS equipment. Unfortunately, that caused the home to be shifted further from the lake, pushed back further than was originally supposed to be, which caused the narrowness on the side yard, I guess, the boat ramp side. But the boat ramp's still plenty of room there. It's not obstructing it. It's not hindering its use by any means. I have pictures of that as well.
It's on helicals too, just like you referred to, it'd be bananas to move the thing now.
Well, the northern lights caused trouble with GPS back in the spring. Kevin can attest to that.
There you go.
So.
Yes.
Thank you for your consideration.
Is there anyone in the public that can speak in favor or opposition to this variance request? Please do. Go ahead, sir, you have the floor.
Oh. And that is too close to get there.
Oh, I'm David Dick. I'm at 100 Lane, 175 Lake Gate. So I'm 2 doors to the west of where the Williamses are. And my wife and I see no problem with his variance, and we would be favorable to granting it.
Any questions? No? Thank you. Anyone else like to speak at this time? Seeing none, we'll.
Like the same time, or just one of them.
Since they're both setbacks, we can do both of them.
Mr. Chairman, I move to grant the minimum road front setback of 24.2 feet. And the minimum side yard setback of 3.4 to Joseph R. Harradine and Michael and Kimberly Williams as presented.
Second. By the way, regardless how this ends up, I appreciate you standing up and saying, it's my fault.
Fully my fault.
I agree.
Yeah, most of us have been there, so you know,
It sucks. So that's my wife's that question. We're talking about Charlie on Friday night.
He's not here.
He's not here.
Got a message for him.
No, his girlfriend says he hides his phone during his meetings.
not the matter, I've talked to enough surveyors that around the lakes is which page you start at in the circle. Right. We realize all this stuff, so.
You can't even go back to the monument. Some roads still moved, so,
Right.
yeah.
So
I've litigated that issue too.
So years ago, there was a meeting where there were two sides, one had different, each of them had different surveyor, and they were like 3 foot difference.
If one starts from one
Yeah.
monument, the other starts the other monument around the lake.
And that was why we were here, because we had to decide which surveyor we were going to listen to determine the variance.
I ran into that at a Clear Lake.
I have one on Crooked Lake right now that's that way. I don't. Yeah.
Alright, that's okay. Variance A has passed by a 4-0 vote count. Variance B is 3-1 in favor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're awful quiet back there, Bill.
I'm trying to maintain the,
I saw the ice close a little bit, so.
Yeah, if we get you an IU hat, you might speak up.
no, God, no,
Okay, just asking.
it'll be right before I die.
Okay. We'll get one from Walmart for you.
Stops moving, that would get it back to life with IU hat, you know. The shock.
Oh,
They were Purdue.
no, we still die. We wouldn't even do that to come back.
All right, I'll get the last one started before Bill dies.
B-25-20, Justin Fitzgerald petition for one-dimensional standard variance for a mobile home, variance for a rear yard setback of 8 2/10 feet rather than the 22 required. Located 235 lane 370 Jefferson Lake, section 32 of Jamestown Township, map number 7603321220000006. Here's an aerial photo of the lot in question. Site plan, yeah, mobile home on it. Here's a picture of the vacant site. Another picture. I remember that.
That's pretty good if you remember.
It's a former horrible violation that I believe the current owner is cleaning up, so.
That's not a pleasant memory, is what you're saying.
May turn into one, we'll see.
Justin Fitzgerald, address is 10151 Greenwood Drive, New Haven, Indiana. Looking for the variance at 35 lane 370 Jefferson Lake. I am requesting the variance that you had mentioned for the off the rear lot of 8.2, and the reason why I'm asking is because you can see there it already has pre-existing concrete runners where a mobile home did exist before. There's also in line with that the gas and the water and electric hookup as well. I'm planning to move a mobile home that I currently own in Bledsoe's community. And it is completely remodeled, one of the nicer mobile homes in the park. From top to bottom, everything has been completely redone. That is, I also have here pictures of the mobile home. The cleanup that we have done, like you had mentioned, it was really bad. Hope to make it look really nice. That's all I have, and if you have any questions, I can answer.
Yeah, questions?
How long is the current one then? Is it on here? The one you already own, is it a 59?
Correct.
Obviously, you're just trying to make it work with what you've got right now, correct? Exactly. That's all I got. Kevin?
I'm good.
Here.
I'm good.
I don't have any questions. Okay, we'll open up the public. Is there anyone in the public that can speak in favor or opposition to this variance request?
My name is Bill Katie. I live at 135 Lane 425B, Jefferson Lake. I had property across from where he's wanting to put trailer in, which our bylaws has always stated that no trailers on the east side of 370. And the way it's been now, they're just leaving everything go in there. But by our bylaws, no trailers should be put in on the east side of 370. Everything should go west.
Okay, that's,
And I don't think the lot's really big enough.
Staff question on that real quick, so I used to own a lot in there too years ago. Did, we have to ask when he comes back on, but don't you have to get a letter from the association in there?
For a permit, typically we do, but sometimes they do take variance.
Yeah, they don't give them out anymore.
Everything was changed.
I mean,
We're
we
not
have
here for-
bars going in and they're
We're not here for permits tonight, we're here for variance, so.
right.
yeah, this could be one step in from many.
We haven't decided if it's 8 feet away. So 20.
Is there anyone else like to speak about this variance?
Yeah, I wasn't going to. Jeanette Katie, 135 Lane 425B, Jefferson Lake, Fremont, Indiana. And he just said that really it says that in the, I thought in the bylaws or in the county codes or something that you're not allowed to have a mobile home on that side. And I know there was one there prior, and it was a piece of junk. And it wasn't very big. And so I thought also that they had to be a certain year, and 60 foot doesn't seem like it's a very big mobile home. And I thought it had to be like 800 square feet or something like that in order to even put anything in, whether it's a house or.
Yeah.
So, you know, those are just concerns, and there's no place to park for them. There's no place, if they have kids, there's no place for them to have a yard.
Lady, we're only considering this rear yard setback. That's the only thing before us tonight. So I appreciate those things, but we're concerned about the setbacks. Anybody else want to speak?
Yes, I already spoke with the president of the association. He has said he doesn't have an issue with mobile home being moved into that area. As far as the total square footage, with the awning that is there, there's going to be a screened-in three-season room. It comes out to 1,050 square feet. That's all the comments that I have.
Is that with like a 20-foot setback and all those things that you're supposed to have?
Yeah, it's all right there on the survey.
Can you change it to the survey?
Oh, all right.
So that way they can see.
Because I thought like you,
Structure, not that was there, but of the structure that I am.
I thought it had to be 20 foot from the corner, 20 foot, no,
Public comment, so.
no.
Okay, if there's no more discussion or issues to consider, I'll entertain a motion. Mr. Chairman, I move we grant minimum rear setback of 8.2 feet to Dustin Fitzgerald as presented.
I'll second that.
That's fine, nice. Oh, yeah.
I was talking about it the last meeting.
Should have surveyor come by.
Guess that could be a.
Yeah. Could be 2 states. You know, I've never, all these years I've been on the board, I've never been invited to somebody's house after they got their project done. So. Yeah, it's public, I guess. Yeah, we do. This one has passed by a 4-0 vote count.
Yeah, that's not the permit.
Yeah.
Okay, they still have to get their permit.
Lots of hoops to jump through, yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna clean it up, my man.
All right, yeah.
Can I say something before you adjourn? And Don, correct me if I'm wrong. Several people have said they have parking on the back lot. Unless it's deeded with the lakeside, doesn't make any difference. The parking has to be on the lot where the building is.
The reason is they could sell the lot, back lot tomorrow.
It's just something that's come up.
But if they're tied together, they're all right, correct?
If they're part of the deed, if there's only one tax bill.
Correct.
Then that's okay, but if there's 2 tax bills, as Don said, you can sell that second lot and all of that parking disappears.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Well, but
Late gauge is all one lot. Yeah.
if it is, I mean, that's fine. I'm just saying,
Well, I was gonna ask that, but you're right. I noticed how it is continuous. It's one tax bill. No, you're right.
so I just,
It's 2 parcels.
No, it's all one.
2 parcels.
Got it on there.
So maybe 2 parcels, but if they're
I don't know how it's deeded, but it is 2 parcels.
It's-
With 2 different parcel numbers.
if there's 2 tax,
You can have it all deeded together with different parcels.
well, you can, but so the question is it 1 tax bill or is it 2? I mean, that's the way I look at it. Not the way I look at it makes any difference. But anyway, just something to consider as time goes on.
Ship out of here.
Hang on.
I'm sorry.
They did send for an approval to the county commissioners for its setback road front to 20 now.
We just talked about that tonight.
So just so then it was sent at plan commission to send it to the commissioners to sign
Yeah,
it.
Landon was telling me.
Yeah,
eliminate some of these.
just so then that way,
We've, every one, we've had 3 at every meeting.
and that's why,
Two.
so.
It's a good reason to change it.
What's up tonight? I said too close to the road, too close to the
No.
line.
So we'll,
Yeah.
we'll do an mandatory standard 20 then if it gets,
Yes.
you won't have a job anymore.
Goodness, telling all that.
Staff, you too. I won't be here in September. not sure where I'm not sure where I'm gonna sit. I won't be here.
I think we only got one thing on the
You have
docket.
one thing.
In the speech.
Just putting that, the way it works, one thing on the docket, and you missed.
Of course it is.
Either gonna be in Kansas City or DFA meeting, or I'm gonna sit in the tractor pushing silage. All our base to be seen.
One or the other.
One or the other. I just decided I was gonna tell you guys it would be here and that way, because I'll be doing one or the other. So,
Or below $4, might as well be paid. So,
yeah.
I'm giving it away. Yeah. If there's no other business come for this meeting, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. Let's adjourn. Motion carried. Don's hungry. All right.